Here are horrifying mythical sea creatures you've never heard of, until now. Kalupalik. It's night. A kid kneels near the frozen shore, poking at the ice with a stick while his parents talk nearby. Then a soft humming starts from somewhere below. The kid leans closer, squinting at the cracks. A green hand shoots up through the ice and grabs his ankle. He's yanked under before he can scream. That's the Kalupalik. Its name comes from Inuit mythology in places like Nunavut and northern Canada. It's described as having gray-green skin stretched tight over bones, too slick to pierce, with long seaweed hair tangled with kelp, and webbed claws sharp enough to grip through ice. Wrapped around their bodies is an amautik, a traditional Inuit parka with a baby pouch sewn into its back. The baby inside isn't the creature's, it's yours, freshly stolen. They lurk beneath sea ice, humming eerie lullabies that drift up through cracks in the frozen surface, hunting as themselves or shape-shifting into seal pups and wounded birds. Once the child leans close enough or reaches out to touch it, the Kalupalik sheds its disguise, and those webbed hands shoot up, drag the child underwater, and stuff them into the pouch. Some say they devour children immediately. Others claim they keep them alive in the pouch, draining their youth slowly like a portable juice box. Either way, not a great experience. 1 star. So, let's say your kid gets snatched. How do you kill it? Well, you just have to trick it into shifting into something weaker, and then you can kill it while it's transforming. Or just don't let your kid go near open ice in the first place, that works too. Kushtaka. A kid stands by the beach, watching the water. An otter's head pops up and paddles closer. The kid gets excited and waves it over, smiling, until the thing stands up, 6 feet tall, wet fur slicked, against a body shaped almost human. Otter face with glowing yellow eyes staring down at him. The Kushtaka hunts the fog-covered coasts where the Tlingit, Tsimshian, and Haida peoples fish, and it doesn't stay an otter. It shapeshifts into your brother, your dead friend, copies their voice and scars perfectly, except there's no belly button, that's always missing. So if your friend starts smelling like wet musk instead of perfume, or has teeth like an otter, it's already too late. It drags you into rivers, forests, straight into the sea, and transforms you into another otterman. You join its colony, spending eternity swimming and using your own human voice to lure the next victim. But there are ways to survive if you're smart. The Tlingit believe carrying iron, old nails, tools, or anything rusted could force the Kushtaka's disguise to collapse back into its otter form. If you think one is talking to you, answer in reversed phrases. They can only repeat what they remember from human life, so speaking backward glitches them like a bad AI model. And if all else fails, call out 3 times before approaching any voice in the fog. Real humans answer naturally. Kushtaka copies stutter and loop. Saze Oni. A fishing boat rocks gently on the dark sea. The crew spots what looks like a woman waving for her help in the water, her pale arms flailing. They pull her aboard, joking and relieved, until her skin starts to glisten wrong. Her legs twist. A shell cracks open down her back with a wet grinding sound, and clawed fingers reach for the nearest sailor's throat. In a nutshell, the Sazeoni is a level 1 snail crook that becomes level 30 snail boss. In Japanese folklore, if a turbaned snail survives for decades in coastal waters, it transforms into something that can walk on land, wear human skin, and ruin your life for fun. Other versions say it comes from women thrown into the ocean for adultery or betrayal, their bodies morphing slowly underwater before crawling back to shore. Sometimes she devours victims whole, other times she seduces men first, then bites off their testicles. Yeah. In one famous pirate tale, she lets pirates rescue her, waits for them to assault her, then steals their family jewels as punishment. Then she offers a trade. Their manhood for their stolen treasure. Gold for gold. They, of course, paid. There's no way to kill her, so just pray you don't go out to sea at the wrong time of day or you might just come back ballless. It would be awkward to explain to your wife. The legend ties into Japan's belief that age brings spiritual power. Cats grow extra tails, foxes master illusions, snails start an organ black market. It's a warning about underestimating what's small and slow and a reminder that if someone's drowning at night and looks weirdly attractive, maybe think twice before helping. Blue Men of the Minch. A ship sails through rough waves of the Scottish coast in a storm. Then, from the side of the ship, a blue hand grips the railing. Dozens of figures rise from the sea. Tall, muscular, glowing eyes, completely blue from skin to hair. Na Fir Gorma. The Blue Men lived in the Minch Strait between the Outer Hebrides and mainland Scotland, a stretch of water famous for storms, whirlpools, and a current literally called the Current of Destruction. You'd think that name would be enough to keep people away, but no, humans decided to sail through it anyway. So, when sailors vanished, someone had to be blamed, and what's easier than blaming supernatural blue guys? Some stories say they float under the surface like logs, sleeping until a ship passes. Then they wake up, stretch, and immediately decide it's time to drown someone. But they test you before they drown you. The leader of the Blue Men would call out 2 lines of poetry to the ship's captain, demanding he answer with perfect rhyme and rhythm. If he failed, the sea turned into a storm and the ship went down. Imagine being moments from death and your survival depends on freestyling a Scottish rap battle. But if he matched the verse, they'd back off, respecting him as an equal. So technically, wit could defeat them, which feels very Scottish. Sailors tried to keep peace by offering ale to the sea or lighting candles during Samhain, hoping the Blue Men would stay calm and not toss them into oblivion. When treated with respect, they could even be helpful, leaving seaweed on shore for farming. Some say they were inspired by the Picts, the painted people the Romans wrote about, or maybe stranded travelers mistaken for blue-skinned demons. Others believe they were fallen angels that landed in the sea, while their luckier siblings got to become fairies or auroras. Whatever they weren't friendly. The rule was simple. If something blue rises from the sea and starts reciting poetry, it's not your friend. Bake Kujira. Fishermen sit in their boats at night, pulling in their nets. One of them notices something pale moving under the surface, surrounded by fish and birds that have never been seen before. As it drifts closer, the light from their lantern reveals a giant skeleton gliding past. Bright white bones, no flesh, no sound. They attacked it, but their harpoons went straight through. The fishermen freeze, realizing they're staring at a whale so mad about being hunted that it came back as bones to ruin their entire economy. That's the Bake Kujira, aka Ghost Whale. The legend comes from Japan's coastal regions, especially around the Shimane Peninsula, where villages once thrived on whale meat, oil, and bone. But profit tends to come with guilt, and when the sea decided it had enough, the Bake Kujira showed up as the ultimate bad omen. If you saw it, your village was doomed to famine, disease, or fire. But not every whale ghost is out for blood, though. In Miyagi Prefecture, 2 white whales once guided a ship to safety during a storm. The sailors lived, swore off whale hunting forever, and probably switched to farming seaweed. Now, is it real? Well, skeptics had theories. Maybe people saw decomposing carcasses stripped clean by scavengers, or rival villages staged fake whale skeletons just to freak everyone out. Either way, it worked. After Bake Kujira, no one wanted to test whether the ocean forgives or just keeps score. The myth says a lot about how Japan viewed whales. They were seen as food, yes, but also as divine beings. When whales washed ashore, people held ceremonies, built whale shrines, and even made torii gates out of their bones. Let me know which of these horrifying mythical creatures you think was truly the most disturbing and why. And thanks for watching.